Hey, what's up, everybody? Pat here, grateful recovering alcoholic and addict, just like every day, guys. Let me see if I can lighten it. There you go. All I can do is lighten it up. Imagine that. How easy is that? Guys, please don't forget to subscribe. Leave the video a like and drop the video a like. Leave me a comment and share it with somebody who might get some out of it. Sorry, I get out of my own way sometimes, right? Guys, Sunday. You guys know what that means. Sunday, God's Day reflecting on the week, and what a week, guys. What a week. This has been a really powerful couple of weeks for me. And a lot of it has to do with having gone through my surgery, and it's showed me a lot of things, guys. And I always seem to come back to the same key points, and that is me being the maker of my own destiny, because I've taken charge of my emotions. I've taken charge of who I am, what I think about myself, how I speak to myself, and then how I act in my day-to-day life. And that is opening me up to so many beautiful things. And guys, that came off very, very, very cocky. But again, you have to be selfish. You have to be selfish. But the thing of it is, you don't remain selfish. You start selfish. I give everything to God, my higher power. Call yours what you will. But guys, I talk about constantly the most important relationship, the most important two relationships you have are your relationship with your higher power and your relationship with yourself. Everything else, if you pour into those two relationships, everything else in your life will fall into place. And it won't happen overnight, guys. As I've talked about, it took me months. It took me months just to get to the point where I was willing to walk into rehab and get off the drugs. And then it took me a couple months of going into hermit and working with everything, guys. But you know what? That identified to me my needs. And then I took the time I needed to work on my needs. I mean, whether it was my primary care physician, my recovery clinic, the OBAC clinic with my Sublocade, whether it was my Riverside recovery group with my recovery advisor, my recovery coach, my therapist. I had to go to the dermatologist, get that thing cut off my face. It was, I was concerned it was cancerous, and yet I walked around with it for 2 years, not getting touched. I tested because I couldn't be bothered. Thank God it was just a skin tag. My dentist, I finally have teeth in my mouth, and I'm happy with who I see when I look in the... Guys, the difference when I look at myself on the camera today is night and day. It is such... And again, it doesn't make me think I'm all that or anything, but just that insecurity has been removed. I'm now talking fluently with them, right? They're comfortable. They've been adjusted. They're about to be implanted in so they don't come out ever. And that's amazing, guys, the progress, because I haven't rushed anything. I've given it to God and just asked Him to let me walk in His light and to show me His path for me. And then I've taken action on the intuitive nudges that He gives me. I've taken... Every time something comes up in my world, I'm very intentional. I stop. I don't react. I talk about that all the time, guys. You got to stop reacting to things and start responding to things, which means you stop and you digest. You think about it. You contemplate it. Is this a good move for me? Is this not a good move for me? If it's not necessarily a good move for me, but it's not a bad move for me, can I help somebody else with it? Because not everything I do has to help me. As long as it's positive for somebody and it's not taking away from me, then fantastic. I love that. I'll give you a prime example, guys. I went to church today. Great scripture. It was about Apostle Paul. An amazing couple of readings, and that felt great. And again, I say this because I'm not a huge fan of organized religion because of, man gets in there and kind of, mucks up the works. But the scripture, the Bible, is beautiful. There's so many lessons in that, guys, and there's so much to be taken from that. And I very much enjoy going there, being around like-minded people, giving reverence, praying in a church, just being part of. And I stop and I hold the door for everybody at the end, and I meet people, and it's a great way to become part of the community, right? So I talk about these things. I don't see these things because I want you to think I'm cool. And they're action steps that you can take, right? If you're feeling isolated, go join your local church. You don't have to agree with everything that's being said there to be part of the community. You never know what good might come out of it, but something good will come out of it, I promise you that. So as I was leaving church, I got a couple of phone calls. I had an emergency call right here at my building, the other half of the building. We have separate entries. Somebody had snapped a key off in the doorway. So as I was coming to try and fix that, one of the tenants is moving out, and he lives alone, and he was trying to get some heavy furniture downstairs by himself, so I stopped and I helped him move his furniture. And then there was a car out front of the house that had a flat tire, hit the curb, blew. And again, if you know Somerville, Boston, they're putting all these crazy bike lanes everywhere. making the roads narrow with these crazy curbs and islands, and people were blowing tires left and right. But this poor guy had called the tow company. The tow truck driver come down, and he could not get the tire off because somebody had over tightened it. So as I'm doing my thing, I'm watching. I'm like, God, these guys aren't getting anywhere. And it's something I've dealt with myself a million times in my trucks. So I went into my warehouse and I got a 4-way wrench and I got about a 10-foot piece of pipe and I threw it on there and boom, sure enough, I got the guy's tire off for him. And they're all looking at me like, who are you? And I'm like, dude, don't worry about it. Been there, done that. Sorry you're having a hard time. Give me a hand. And as they went to reach for their wallet, I'm like, no, guy, come on. That takes all the giving out of it, right? I like to do those things. It didn't cost me anything, but I just made life easier for 3 people in the span of a minute. And it made me feel good. And I went about my business and I was able to extract the key from the lock and get that fixed. And I made a $250 service call for doing that. Right? It's amazing, guys. When you do these things, right? When you look at the bigger picture, when you give reverence and you ask God to show you His path for you, and then you take the actions and leaps of faith that come along with it, it's amazing how things fall into place, guys. When I went in for surgery and I walked out of there, and again, I wasn't worried about it because, I mean, I've been making more money than I ever have in my life, and I'm not saying that in a cocky way because, guys, I have nothing. I have no retirement. I have money in the bank now, but only what I've accumulated in the last 6 months. And again, it's beautiful. I'm not complaining. I'm thrilled. I'm honored. I'm incredibly grateful. But I'm saying I'm not running around balling because I don't have $1 million in the bank. I've got more than I ever have. Enough that I could certainly take a week off from work and not stress it. But that being said, I'd rather do that on a vacation, not sitting at home recovering from surgery. And I'm like, I can't lift anything heavy. I'm going to put up all this work. I don't want to lose customers. So I voiced those concerns to my God and said, God, just let me know what the right thing to do. And if you're trying to tell me to slow down, then I'll slow down. And then lo and behold, Doug calls me and says, hey, I need you to run my office for the week. I'm going to pay you for that. Then I get 3 phone calls this week and pick up 3 enormous clients, like contracts. So, okay, nope, not telling me to slow down. It is a test of faith to see how I'm going to react. And if I do it right, more blessings pour into my life. Guys, the more you step up and live intentionally, the more you're going to see lessons and rewards for everything you do. That's why I beg of you guys to do these things. I'm not on here just talking, guys. I'm on here sharing. Because, guys, if you've been rocking with me for a while here, if you've seen my testimony videos, guys, my life was miserable. And it's because I had full control of my own will, and I was convinced that it was everything but. I thought I was a victim of circumstance. I thought I was paying for past life mistakes and this and that. No, I was making piss poor decisions and getting piss poor rewards for my own actions. And I can say that today because I changed my actions. I changed my thinking, and I've changed my world. I literally feel like I'm a walking miracle magnet today. And guys, the more I don't get complacent, and that was actually the topic for the Just for Today NA meditation I was just reading. Complacency is the enemy of progress. I could have very easily, in the very beginning, before I started learning all these things, all I wanted was to just put down the drugs and be able to maintain my day without getting high. And had I done that, I would still be working for my old job. I'd, probably just be getting close to getting out of debt, but I certainly wouldn't have a dime saved. I'd be struggling every single day to remain sober because I'd still be working with a bunch of drug addicts. And honestly, guys, if I'm being honest, I probably wouldn't have been sober today. But because I didn't become complacent, I decided just to hand it over and remove my limiting beliefs, my own insecurities, my own fears from the equation by just handing it to God. And immediately, guys, it's amazing. God started showing me through other people. Because all of a sudden, everywhere I go, I'm getting complimented on my attitude, on my work ethic, on my resiliency, on my strength. Like, all these people are pouring into me saying how much I stand out. And I went, well, you know what? That's God letting me know that the way I look at myself is wrong. So I started talking to my therapist about that and started talking to him and my recovery coach. And then to prove their point, they passed my information along to other people in their organization. And suddenly I'm getting Harvard scholarships awarded to me that I didn't even apply for. Guys, if that's not the universe trying to tell me, hey, you're not looking at yourself in a high enough light, I don't know what is. So I poured into that, and I started looking at that, and I started being intentional about that, and I started looking at my behaviors in sobriety, and looking at the best of my behaviors in addiction, and realizing I do have a huge heart. I am a very kind and giving person. I'm a very patient person. I'm a very loving person. Yes, you cross me, and guys, I mean, I've lived through hell for a long time. I'm not somebody you want to cross, but today I don't let that be part of the equation, because I'll just walk away. I've got nothing to prove to anybody. I go to the gym to show myself how strong I am, and just to get myself more physically fit so I feel better. Not to show anybody up, or not to impose my will on anybody. And that's another point of the guys. I'm literally just coming in from the gym right now. Now today is literally 2 weeks to the day from my surgery, and I was feeling good. Now I have my ultrasound on Monday because I might have given myself a slight hernia by going to the gym last Monday, which was not very smart, and I felt some pain. I didn't think it was that bad, but again, I'm iffy, and I'm not going to guess. I'll go Tuesday and get the test done, and I'll find out. But even if I had, it's clearly minor, because here we are. I've been working all week, and I've been able to do more and more and not feel strained. So I decided to go to the gym today, take it easy, not put 275 or 295 pounds on the bench press, but I was doing curls and back and shoulders. And guys, zero strain on my stomach. I'm so much further along than I'm supposed to be. I'm not supposed to be able to work for 4 to 6 weeks, and I'm 2 weeks in, and I'm like 99% healed. And I know I did no damage today because it feels good. I feel zero stress, zero strain from it. Because guys, I'm being intentional, and I'm listening to my body, and I'm listening to my God, and I'm listening to my inner self and my higher self, and I'm taking action on these things, and I'm taking a step back when need be, and I'm stepping up when the opportunities arise. It's incredibly intentional, and it's incredibly rewarding. But again, it's all coming into this next chapter, stepping up in these beautiful collaborations and opportunities, and the business, and just better relationships, and it's just my life expanding in every way, shape, or form, because I'm doing the work daily. I'm not getting complacent. I haven't got to a level and said, okay, boom, here, I've made it. No, I'm just getting started. Like, I have no idea where this ride's going to take me, but I know I'm going to keep coming at it every day from the same energy, and taking advantage of every opportunity I get that doesn't step on somebody else's throat, and just being the best person I can, and helping as many as I can along the way, and enjoying the benefits of every bit of it. Guys, that's what my God is telling me to do, so that's what I'm doing, and because I am, it's working amazingly well. My God, my higher power, whom I choose to call God, is fully loving, fully supporting, and fully correcting, and He corrects me in the most loving of ways. I can turn these things into tragedies when I take the reins and I run amok, because guys, I'm not perfect. I still make mistakes. I fall short constantly, but I'm able to correct that today because I'm living hand in hand with God. I'm paying attention to everything around me, and I still miss a lot, because all of a sudden, guys, a month from now, I'm going to pick up 2 or 3 more points that I'm not noticing now, and I know that, and that's what keeps me happy, because I know there's so much room for growth here still. And if it continues anything like the pace that it's been going for these last 6 months, and I don't care if it does, as long as I'm continuing to step up, I don't care about the pace. I don't have a destination in mind, and I don't have a time frame on it, which is why it is beautiful, guys. This is where we get into trouble. We decide for ourselves by either comparing with somebody else, or just arbitrarily coming up with a time frame that we think we should get to somewhere in. And that's where disappointment comes in. That's when anxiety comes in. That's where fear comes in. When you release all of that and just say, you know what? I'm going to be the best version of me I possibly can. I'm going to do every good thing I can to the absolute best of my ability. Every opportunity I take, I'm going to make the absolute most out of it every day, regardless of what the reward is. I'm just going to assume and trust that the universe, God, Spirit, Allah, Buddha, Ganesh, whatever it is you like to call your higher power, is going to see this and is going to reward me justly. Then guys, I promise you, it's going to work way better than you ever thought it could. That's just certainly the experience that I'm having. It is absolutely amazing, and I'm incredibly, incredibly grateful. I was actually at church today, and the girl sitting behind me, sweetest voice ever. I could listen to that girl pray all day long. Right? Had a shirt that said State of Gratitude. I'm like, I love that shirt. So I complimented her on it, and I could see her beaming. Guys, it takes so little to compliment somebody, and when you do it from the heart, people appreciate it, and it makes you feel good and it makes them feel good. So again, double bonus. That's what I'm into today, guys. I do things that make me feel good and make other people feel good, and I get double bonuses along the way. Guys, it's not that difficult. You just got to do the work, and you got to do it in the best way possible. Look outside of yourself. pay attention, give reverence, be faithful, be obedient to your higher power, and you'll live the happiest life. It's not like it's tasking me, it is rewarding me beyond measure. My life today is shockingly, shockingly good. I'm constantly at literally multiple times a day, I'm like, wow, like I can't believe I've gotten to this place that I have from where I was. So over there, sorry guys, trying to lighten up again. Guys, it's amazing. Each and every one of you can do this. The only thing holding you back is you. If there's somebody imposing, if somebody is oppressing you, then remove them from your life by whatever means necessary in the kindest way possible when possible. But if it comes down to somebody physically oppressing you, then call the police, call authorities, call your parents, call whoever you can. Do not allow anybody else to hold you back, but then don't hold yourself back. Become faithful, find your higher power, develop that relationship, and be the best version of you possibly can, and I promise you things will get so much better, faster than you can possibly imagine. As you are able to handle more, you will be given more. And that's the beauty of trusting, guys, and that's what I do. I have full faith, I have full trust, and I take huge leaps of faith whenever possible because I love them. I don't have a destination, I don't have a reward in mind. I just land and try to help as anybody I can along the way, even if it's just to smile and make somebody's day and just make somebody laugh. Those are powerful things and they reward you immensely. Guys, that is the lesson for today. This is Sunday, God's Day Reflecting. Always remember, you deserve everything and you can have everything once you decide to get out of your own way. Guys, God loves you. I love you. Thank you so much. We'll see you in the next one.